You're listening to Your Worst Friend, Going Deeper, Season 2. Here are your hosts, Shane and Matt.
You're listening to Your Worst Friend with Shane and Matt. I'm Matt. I'm joined today by my co-host and friend, Shane. Shane, say hello.
Yo.
This is Going Deeper, where we interview adult performers and really get to the core of what makes them tick, what makes them operate. I don't know. I lost steam on all of my intro there. Today we are joined by,
make them tick. That could be a lot of things.
I'm joined today with Shane by one of my favorite new performers on the scene. Her name is Anastasia Rose. Let me give you all of the plugs and all of the promotions because I need you to go check her out. Some of the stuff she's done is pretty incredible. And she's got this feel that it harkens back to like the early 2000s. Like she is a gamer. She is a performer. And I think it's awesome. So here's what I want you to do. Go follow her on Twitter. That's Anastasia Rose XX. Now I know most of our listeners don't know how to read. So let me spell that out for you. Okay. Anastasia is ANASTASIA Rose XX. Okay. You're going to check out her.
Anna ST Asia.
Yeah, that works. What about Anna Street Asia? ST Street.
That could work.
That's a fucking nightmare. They're gonna write the word street in there.
When I first got into the industry, they were like, "You do not want that name," and I was like, "No, I do. I love the Russian Duchess Anastasia Romanov." Everybody thought I did it for 60 Shades of Grey, but I didn't even know what that was at the time yet. But no, like I did it and became pretty popular with it. So
sorry, ever since the sanctions, I forgot all Russian literature.
All right, let me finish the plugs here, folks. Let me finish the plugs. I want to make sure you get your promotion you need. Anastasia Rose XXX on OnlyFans. She has a Snapchat Premium, Anna Rose Premium, and that's ANAROSE Premium. Google it. You'll figure it out. The last thing is, if you're interested in custom clips, what else do you offer on there? Like if someone sends you an email and goes, "Hey, Anastasia."
I sell underwear, bras, socks. I've had people ask me to send them pee in a bottle.
Cool.
She's like I said,
yeah, hell yeah.
She's a gamer. All right. Send her an email. Send her an email at anastasiarose18@yahoo.com. So thank you for coming on with us today, Anastasia. We really appreciate it.
For sure. Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. Let's get it.
Since I've done one of these.
Yeah. So let me ask you, have you taken a step back from more mainstream stuff and you're concentrating more on your individual stuff, or where are you at in the industry right now?
I pretty much for like the past year and a half had like a psycho ex. We ended up being engaged and everything. He's like, "You got to quit porn." So I quit porn, got a real job. He thought I was fucking the manager. You just can't win with some people. So like for a whole I'd say like close to 2 years, I was like on and off about just leaving the industry entirely. I obviously like ditched his ass and was like, "Get the fuck out of here." And that's kind of why I've started being more interactive on my Twitter and like stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely back in the game. I'm going to Exotica Chicago next weekend, which is going to be super awesome because I haven't been to a convention since 2019. Wow. So I'm like really excited.
Now, what did they do? Did they do it all digital last year or virtual? Was that, I think, or 2 years ago, maybe?
In 2020, they did it all virtually. They even did the AVNs virtually, which was like
blasphemy.
Crazy. I mean, I totally understand, but like an event like that is hard to do virtually,
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, you guys risk a lot of other things a lot more permanent than COVID. So yeah. I guess it's a little extreme.
Yeah. So, but last year they started them back up again, and it was I didn't go to any of them just because I was like, you know, not sure about even being in the industry. And then
Sure.
this year I actually just randomly decided, like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to Exotica Chicago. And I started hitting up producers, started hitting up, you know, stuff to get sessions and a place I could like sign at a booth. And it's gonna be a good time.
Sure.
Conventions are always just a good time.
That's what I'm hoping for. I just got my press passes for New Jersey Exotica, so
Okay,
I'm gonna be at that.
I'm going to Jersey.
Oh, really?
Jersey is my favorite.
Oh, cool.
Wow, good to
Jersey
hear.
is my favorite. Yeah,
Good to
Jersey
hear.
is pretty wild.
That's the first time it's ever been said about New Jersey in any aspect whatsoever. So I appreciate
Well,
that.
yes, I don't know about the whole, you know, pump gas, you know, not being able to pump your own gas and, you know, right on reds and can't make U-turns and all those kind of odd things about the state. But the convention is pretty good.
Yeah, okay. All right. There you go. Fair enough. So let me ask you, how did you get into the industry? What was your turn where you go like, I'm living this normal life, and then you go, no, I'm committing to this. I'm dialing in and I'm gonna do this. Even if it's just for a little bit.
I actually had a best friend that we went to high school. We were all in high school together. And I was a kitchen manager at Chipotle at the time.
Oh, that fucking food gives me diarrhea.
You know what? I fucking hate it now too.
It's nasty. Yeah, I fucking hate Chipotle, dude.
It's gross. After eating it every day for a year and a half, it's terrible.
They come in the guacamole.
I believe it.
I just use that as a fucking jumping off point to express my hatred for Chipotle. I fucking hate that place, dude. Everyone in this town loves it. Fuck Chipotle. Sucks.
Of course, it's a California thing. Everybody's like, they're Chipotle with their guacamole and their avocados. I'm like, avocados aren't even healthy.
They're Mexican, you dumbass.
So you're the hottest kitchen manager that's ever worked at Chipotle, and your friend comes to you.
Probably.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I was working there. My best friend, you know, she didn't graduate, but you know, like it was our year after we graduated, and she had this friend, Iris Rose.
Okay.
Not really in the industry anymore, but she was always seeing on her Snapchat her like partying and like getting her makeup done for these shoots and like having all this fun. And she's like, we should do it. I was like, fuck it. Why not? Like, I'm not doing anything here. I was a complete slut in high school. So like, why not?
What high school did you go to?
So yeah, she wanted to find somebody off of like Backpage or Craigslist, and I was like, you're a dumb hoe.
They're gonna die.
I did because like she wanted to find like an agent, and they were like, you know, really sketchy.
Just fuck whoever. Film it. Fuck whoever and film it. Why are you finding an agent?
$75,000 to come to, of all, like, this is like for porn, right? Cincinnati. What? Like what? And I was like, this is such a scam. We're gonna like end up.
It does have sin in it.
Wait a minute. Someone offered
Exactly.
$75,000, right? Supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly.
Oh,
which,
dude,
like,
you were gonna get your head cut off. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then sold for the $75,000.
Yeah.
To a head collector.
Yeah. So I did some research and I found an agency called ATM LA.
Okay.
So I flew us both out there. And mind you, the whole month before we go out there, she's like, dude, I think I'm pregnant. And I'm like, well, there's these things. They're called pregnancy tests. You pee on a stick and it will give you an answer. It's like a fucking magic 8-ball. And she was like, no, it'll go away.
Someone will fuck it out of me on the porn set.
Seriously, her answer was, it'll go away. I'm like, no, bitch, that doesn't go away. That grows.
That's the point. Yeah.
Like that shit grows. And we got out to LA, and mind you, I paid for our model house. I paid for her half of the model house. I paid for her plane ticket. I paid for her talent testing, and pops up, and not only is she pregnant, but she has chlamydia and gonorrhea too.
Ooh.
Both of them at the same
At
time?
the same damn time.
How could you tell? They look alike.
The baby was dripping out of its mouth. That's how.
Oh my God. Yeah, so she went home with like 5 days later. And I was like, damn, this kind of like, I felt a little abandoned. I was like, damn, this sucks. I thought I was gonna like go out to LA and make porn with a best friend, but like she totally abandoned me because she's like kind of a dumb bitch.
Would have been like Sweetie and Doja Cat, but in porn.
Yeah, yes, it would have been badass. And yeah, that just obviously didn't
Pan out.
But
And
you know
she
what?
was like so jealous of me and like so hates me so much. Like she's like,
You get fucked on film.
What?
She had chlamydia and gonorrhea.
Sorry, you're
Yeah,
not allowed
baby.
to do it
she
at
had
that
the
point.
kid. She
Yeah.
had the kid too. And
Ooh,
then get
so that
this,
means the kid had gonorrhea and chlamydia.
for sure.
Oh, what a way to be born. Holy shit.
And then you would think that would be it. Like she'd be like, okay, I'm getting on birth control. No, bitch has another kid.
Oh, stop. Stop
I
doing
know,
it.
right?
Stop getting me to judge this poor mother.
Fucking take it down the gullet one time, all right? Stop leaving it in.
Eat
Holy
'em.
Christ.
So she left. I stayed. It worked out for me.
So let me, how do
Good
you,
for her.
there's been plenty of times when I've like not, so I was into podcasting when, I always use this as a point of reference, when Joe Rogan was on episode 37. That's when I
Holy
got into
shit.
podcasting. So I've been in it for a long time. Now,
Nerd.
I never started it myself because I never had the confidence to do it myself. Now I'm just figuring out a way to get Shane off of this show and fire him. But I always needed that support system with me. I need someone to talk to. I need someone to do this and that. Was there a part of you when your friend essentially abandons you where you're like, fuck it, I could quit too and go back home? Or were you just like all in?
No.
You're like, no, fuck it, I got to do
Oh,
this.
cool.
No, I was sitting outside hitting dabs at the model house in LA, and I was like, the model house mom walked out. She's like, "What you thinking about?" And I was like, "Do you think my family will find out about this?" And she started dying fucking laughing. She's like, "Honey, if you're not ready for your family to find out you getting fucked in the ass, then you need to leave right now." And after that, I was like, fuck it, we're going all in.
There
And
you
that's
go.
what I did. I went all in. I totally went all in.
I was like, I don't care if they know I'm getting fucked in my pussy, but my ass? Jeez.
I remember when my dad, I'd never thought my dad knew my stage name. And then I was like doing like a premium Snapchat. I was like doing something and someone said Anastasia Rose. And I was like, because I was in the car with him, I was like mortified. I was like, oh my God. And he looks at me and he goes, "You don't think that I don't know?"
Oh shit, parents know everything.
Yeah, they do.
And I was like, well, like, because why would, he look at my porn, right?
To
He's
jack off to it.
not the concerned neighbor or the concerned coworker, the concerned coworker that totally just jacked off to me the night before.
I much prefer the honesty, like when they're just like, yeah, I'm your coworker and I'm jacking off to your porn. No, I'm still your coworker,
Yeah.
Like, well, you can still go to the
Fuck
office and
daughter,
share a
rail
coffee,
last night, but, like, we still got to work together.
Right, yeah. Yeah,
Someone- Someone's got to cut these avocados.
And it's
you know?
crazy because like my dad's the type of person that could do that. Like
Yeah,
he could
that's
continue
cool.
working with the person.
Good dad.
So,
Yeah, he's awesome. He's A1.
So that's awesome. That's good to hear because there's a common misconception, right, among porn people. It's like, oh, here's what it was. Bad childhood led to this, led to that, blah, blah, blah. What was your childhood like? Did you have a bad childhood and now your dad's come around, or was he always?
No, my dad was always there. My mom and stepdad totally psycho crazy.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, like I've had therapists like say it's like a cult like
Whoa.
Wow.
Like we didn't socialize with anybody. We didn't go to school. We didn't go to church. We didn't even go grocery shopping. Like my mom and stepdad would go grocery shopping. Like the kids wouldn't go with them. Like
Wow.
no social interaction at all. It was crazy.
Weird.
So then when I moved in with my dad when I was a teenager, he was like, I fucking work, so you're going to high school. And I was like, yes.
Oh, and that's why you became a slut. Okay. Yeah, totally. I get it.
So you touched on that. You said in high school you were kind of like, was that a result of being so closeted?
Repressed.
And I don't mean in like a gay way, but like so repressed and closeted
Sheltered.
Sheltered is the word I was looking
100%.
for.
That
Okay.
I went into that high school with like, I'm gonna be the party girl. I'm gonna be the slut. Everybody's gonna know me, and yeah, I succeeded quite well. And now that I'm in porn,
I won.
I have people that still hit me up like, we always were gonna fuck in high school, which like we never were. This is a person that like I never talked to in high school.
Sure.
We were always gonna fuck in high school, and now you're a porn star, so can we fuck now? And it's like, no.
And be like, I don't know. Do you have $75,000 to fly me to Cincinnati and
there's-
cut my head off?
I will not lie. I've definitely made that offer. I've been like, you can cough up some money and get tested. I would not mind.
So that's all right. That's something that I find interesting, and that's where it goes back to the old like 2000s type of model and stuff. It was. We talked to a porn star named Callie Ryder, and she told us. Oh, okay, all right, yeah. We interviewed her on our first season, and she told us how doing like private stuff or doing this and that is so frowned upon in the industry, and even to the point where she broke it down like you're on a set, you shoot, and the camera guy afterwards is like, hey, I'll pay you to fuck me over here. She said that's frowned on upon. And I find that so crazy. It's like, I don't know, you just fucked over here for money, and that's totally cool. But if you fuck this guy over here and the camera's turned off, it's not cool. It's ridiculous, right?
It's stupid. As long as, in my opinion, as long as the person is being safe, tested using protection, then you have the same chances of getting any kind of STD that you would on a set, because you're supposed to either use protection or be tested on a set.
Sure.
So hypocritical.
And honestly, my kink is risk. So
You're like, I don't mind getting the AIDS.
well, I do mind that. The thrill is getting away with it.
So, all right. So you go to high school. Now, are you the new girl at your school, obviously? And you say you weren't schooled at all. Were you homeschooled at all? Or was it literally
I was homeschooled, but my mom's idea of homeschooling was reading from the Bible and us doing
man, that's the greatest book I ever wrote, huh?
We would do like coloring pictures of like the Bible story of the day.
Oh shit! I bet you could fucking dominate a Jonah and the whale picture though. If we gave you some crowns and a fucking, you color it in real nice. Though,
she would swallow up the whale.
Yes, I would.
Because the whale swallows Jonah in the story. You dumb fucking antichrist.
You're right. I apologize for that one. I got the joke now. Shane's often mean to me on this show, which is not nice considering I do all of the legwork.
We have a good cop, bad cop thing going where the bad cop takes the side of the perp, and we team up on the good cop.
That's nice.
Well, at least you have some kind of organization to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Matt organizes, and I fucking walk all over it.
So let me ask you, Anastasia. So was that when you get to that new high school? Is that when you lost your virginity, or was there like you?
That was before.
Oh,
I lost my virginity at a church.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, it's at 3 different churches. So I lost my virginity 1 year before I went into high school.
Okay. And you knew you liked it, so you were like, fuck, once I get access to more guys around me, we're going to make this a regular thing. Yeah.
100%.
That's cool. It's usually the opposite, I hear. It's usually like, oh no, once you stuck it in me, I was like, nope, I'm not going to enjoy this ever.
Never again. Fuck that.
So let me.
I
What,
was like, I mean, like, I had a goal, I guess you could call it, in high school.
A number?
And
Did you have a target number?
I didn't have a target number, but I had this goal to be able to go balls deep on every guy that I slept with.
oh, wow. What an admirable goal. I wish more high
That was
school
my
girls
goal,
felt
because
that way.
I
Yeah.
wanted to be known for my head.
Well, I mean, most girls aren't. So
Exactly. I've had so many guys be like, holy shit, what are you doing with your tongue? And I'm like, what do you mean? You're sucking my balls, dude. Like, what?
how are you still talking and answering these questions with it all?
Yep.
So, all right. Look, can I? This is going to sound like a weird pivot. What kind of Christianity was it that you
The
studied?
fake
growing up?
kind.
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I would say,
What's
you know,
the
my
real
mom,
one?
she's like Christian, but what she was doing was not.
So it's not like Catholic specific, because I went to Catholic
Yeah.
school and I knew a lot of Catholic
That's
girls,
the real one.
and Catholic girls tend to lean towards not losing their virginity while losing their virginity in a sense. Do we understand what I'm
So
saying?
like doing like hand jobs and blow jobs.
I meant more.
Anal.
I was saying anal more than that. So
It's like a repressed losing your virginity. You know what I'm saying? It's
Are
like,
you serious? They'd rather
Yeah.
do anal?
oh, Catholic girls are stupid.
yeah, that's that's a common trope actually. If you look that up, and I can say for a fact I've met a few of them that applied towards.
Oh my god, they'd be perfect porn stars.
You would think, right? But no, then the Jesus thing comes in, and
the
they're all
whole
like, "Oh,
Catholicism,
and burning in
blood and
hell,
body of
sulfur
Christ."
smell and brimstone," and then all that shit comes in. Okay, so I was gonna ask you, is the first time you mentioned it, not me, the first time you do anal, is that in high school? Is that in porn? Is that
It was not in porn, so I ironically got with a camera guy.
okay? Now,
But
but wait, is this when you're not shooting porn, but this is when you're in the porn time, right?
we were AVNs.
Okay.
And then we were like recording a shoot, and then after the shoot, I was trying to get away from this really obnoxious producer that's like a producer, but he's kind of like obsessed with me. So I was like trying to, actually it's a PR agent.
Gotcha.
And I was trying to get away from him kind of, because like he wanted to like snuggle in bed and like feed
Horny.
edibles to each other. He was trying to get me to sleep with them. Like, I'm not
Sure.
a dumb bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know it was trying to go down, but I was not about it. So I was like,
No, I thought that the sleeping with was implied, the fucking was implied, and then like your aversion was like, I don't want to fucking cuddle and fucking do this weird feeding each other shit. Like, I'll
I
fuck
think
you,
that's
fine,
what
but
it was. I think
Yeah.
that like freaked me out. a
yeah,
little
like
bit.
that's weird,
You
dude. Fuck
cry.
off. Okay, that's a
Cry.
deal breaker. That's
Yeah.
over.
I was like, I gotta get out of this room. So I was like texting him, was like, can you like, you want to like go to dinner at Lucky's or something? Because like, I'm not hungry, but like, I need to get the fuck out of here. And then he was the cameraman from the shoot that I had just had. So we went to dinner, and then we went back up to his room and like fucked like crazy.
Cool.
And we actually, after that, were together for 4 years.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
That's
And
awesome.
he was I wouldn't consider him older. When we got together, he was 43,
Okay.
Do you?
And how old
uh,
were you?
18.
It's
Okay,
a little
I
bit
mean,
older.
technically on a number scale, it is older, but
He could have possibly been your grandfather.
Yeah.
But it's
Definitely could have been like, I mean, my dad loved him.
ugh.
So that's when I was like, maybe like he's not that bad.
so the fact that he's a cameraman is an interesting jumping off point, because it's like I feel most guys aren't really secure from birth, and they're not taught to be. Most guys are taught to fucking think
Be
that they're
tough and
yeah,
not
they're-
show
yeah,
feelings and whatever.
everything is a threat to their ego and their masculinity and shit. So I feel like if you're going to be a woman and you're going to date or have a romantic life, and this is your line of work, you either need to have the most secure dude outside of the porn industry, or you need to date someone within the industry. Somebody who's either,
and that's why it worked for him and I for 4 years, is because we were in an open relationship. He was a swinger, so like he was already, and he was into anal. So getting back to the anal, there were like two requests that he had to be together, and it was like, you ought to at least like anal a little bit, and you had to be okay with like me sharing you with other people and you sharing me with other people, like all in the industry, of course, you know.
So safe and shit like that.
Yeah, exactly.
not like the guys I meet at the bar and bring home.
Exactly. Yeah, no. And then he was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, I can do that. So he was the first one that bought me like my first little anal toys and like stuff like that. So he's the one that kind of got me going on the anal train, because if you've seen some of my stuff, I've done some pretty fucking intense anal stuff. So,
I have. Oh, I
Intimidating.
have. Yeah. So, okay. So can I, and if this is too sore, you don't have to talk about it, but not a reference to anal, but you were with the guy for 4 years. Was it a mutual thing at the end? Were you?
I developed a really bad cocaine addiction, and that became my one and only. And he was like, he was mature enough to be like, I know you're not going to pick me over that, because I know what addiction is.
Sure.
So he ended it pretty much, and like that sucked. But now we're actually like, because I'm like clean and sober and everything. So now, I still smoke weed. I still smoke a lot of weed.
California sober.
Well, yeah, I feel like that's fair. I don't think that like that should even count. Like you shouldn't even have to qualify it. You like, weed is like when you take your Xanax or your Klonopin in the morning, so your mood is stable.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same. So I get you.
Yeah. So no, definitely is not anything like any of the drugs I've done. So definitely
So we're definitely we're pro porn in and out, like totally fine with it. We love performers, this and that. But let me ask you, did you have this problem before porn, or did you?
Not at all.
Okay, so was it?
No, I met this guy in Vegas, another porn performer, and he kind of got me into it. And then before I knew it, I was like,
sure.
And it took like a year and a half out of my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is that, I mean,
common?
Well, yeah. I mean, do you have a lot of friends in the industry who've gone through similar things, or because you hear the horror stories from it?
Going through similar things. That's why it's like I've really had to narrow down my circle.
Sure.
Because you don't want to go to a shoot. There's certain people that I will not shoot with anymore and it sucks because one of them was like my best friend, and she just can't stop. And I told her, I was like, dude, she's a
coke whore.
You're gonna leave your kids, like,
ooh.
And she just doesn't want to, until you hit like rock bottom, like really fucking rock bottom, you're not gonna change.
Sure.
Yeah, totally.
Any instance with anything that comes to do with change, you're not going to change unless a event takes place in your life that makes you, or you've hit so hard rock bottom that you have to.
Sure.
For sure.
That makes sense. Yeah. I have a Shane quit drinking about a year and a half ago, and my brother died of a drug overdose. So I mean, you what? You have one too?
Yep.
Oh, I can't hear you. Kind of blurry there. Yeah.
You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I said my little brother died of a drug overdose in 2017.
Mine was 2012. He was 20 years old.
Mine was 18. Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
My brother, 20 years old, he had been to rehab 14 times.
Yeah, I remember that first time I heard that number, I thought he was joking because that number seems so crazy.
No, in and out, man. And then fentanyl was the one.
That's what it is. That's what it always is. That's like when I had I'm actually on Suboxone for opiates.
Wow.
Because it just, you know, it gets to the point where it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And also, you know, parents shouldn't have to lose a child to begin with. It's unnatural, and a parent shouldn't have to lose two children to the same thing. So that's kind of
So can I ask you, when that happened with your brother, do you now, was that when you were in the middle of your cocaine addiction?
no, not at all.
You were clean
No,
at that point, or you
I
hadn't
was
even
clean
started
at
yet?
that. Yeah,
Okay.
I was clean at that point.
Okay. I was gonna say, if that, I was gonna wonder if that was like a motivating
The
factor.
switch. No,
Yeah.
I didn't. It took me still about another year and a couple months to get on cocaine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. Well, I'm happy you pulled through that. I'm glad you're, getting
Me
yourself
too, 'cause there were
clean.
a couple times I woke up in the hospital bed and I was like, oh fuck.
shit.
That's rough,
So-
man. So yeah, I'm glad we were able to keep it sexy there for 5 minutes, but at least we're being real about shit, you know? Going back to all right, this is going to be a very amateurish little kid question, but like, what kind of girl were you like in high school, in the sense that, so you've said you're a slut, that's your words, not mine. But
words.
were you like a cool kid who was kind of slutty? Were you like nerdy? Were you like a goth kid? Did you play sports? Did you do whatever? Because there's different things. The cooler kids who are slutty, I feel like, Shane, going back to our high school, we never really came down too hard on them. Like,
Nah.
they were accepted. But then somebody like a Martine, who was gross and kind of slutty, not gross physically, obviously, you're beautiful. People were kind of like, ew, gross. But at
You
the
mean
same
just
time,
like gross, like in not being
Like-
ashamed that they were a slut?
no, in like social standings, like she was kind of
like bottom of the totem pole type people.
yeah, and I feel
Mhm.
like the cool kids get passes on that. So what kind of niche or whatever do you think you fit into in high school?
So ironically, I was the troublemaker kid. Like, I skipped so much school that they tried to suspend my license.
They finally got you into school and you're like, nah, fuck it, I don't feel like being here today.
Yeah, no, and the funny thing was, though, I graduated a year early.
Sure.
I was a really good student. All my teachers loved me, besides there's one teacher, Miss Poor, who was the journalism teacher, and I flipped over a desk and I called her a bitch. But she wanted me to walk all the way back to the 9th grade center in the rain to get a pass, and then all the way back. And I said I wasn't doing it. I was going down to the main office to get the pass. And she was like, no. And I was like,
This lady sounds like a fucking bitch.
She sounds like a real gem.
Because our high school, the 9th grade campus, was at least like a 7-minute walk to main campus away.
Fuck that.
Fuck
So I was
that.
like, I'm not doing that in the fucking rain. I just did it in the fucking rain. That's why I was late. Now you want me to walk back to get a late pass from the campus and then walk back in the rain. She's just doing it to be spiteful.
Sure.
She didn't like me.
Yeah, that's what
But,
teachers do sometimes. Yeah.
Other than that, and I still passed her class with a C. But other than that, teachers loved me. I would remember my senior year of high school, I would drive to school about 10 a.m. I'd go to all my classes. And by go to all my classes, I mean walk to all my classes, pick up the work that they were doing in class today, or if there was any homework, and then go home and do it.
Sure.
And then turn it in the next day and do the same thing. And my teachers didn't mind because I still had A's and B's.
Yeah.
They were like, she just doesn't like being in class. When she is in class, she's super present. When we call on her, she reads out loud. She comes up to the board. My dad just couldn't understand it. But it's because I have so much social anxiety that I couldn't. I mean, my graduating class was 1,200 kids.
Okay. What was ours, Shane? Maybe 400?
I don't
Yeah.
fucking remember. 1,200 sounds like a lot though.
Yeah, our school was at like 4,000 kids
Wow.
altogether.
Wow.
And it was just like, it was culture shock to me pretty much.
Sure.
So I just like doing my stuff at home. And my dad would email the teachers, why doesn't she go to class? And they're just like, I don't know. Or I'd rather sit in like in school suspension and do all my work. I just, and then it was funny when they tried to suspend my license, which you have to miss 30 consecutive days in a quarter.
Wow.
Which
That's a lot.
Is only like,
it's like 2 months, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had already graduated.
Sure.
So I just sent them my diploma and was like,
Nice.
gotcha. You can't suspend my license. But my poor little brother was going to a alternative school, and to get his permit back, he had to go to 30 consecutive days of school.
Fuck that,
sucks.
dude. I'd rather fucking kill myself.
Me,
I
dude.
hate school.
And
I hate broccoli.
Alternative school, he has to like dress up in like slacks and like a button-down t-shirt and wear a tie and backpack
like a fucking corporate drone.
Oh God.
That's crazy. Well, that leaves me an interesting question. So you were the slutty girl in high school. Any teachers?
Yeah.
Teachers? No, I wish. I wanted to fuck my English 4 teachers so bad.
Was he young guy or like an older guy?
No, it was like an older guy. Like I'd say maybe like late 40s.
That would have been a better ending to Dead Poets Society if they all just got up and blew Robin Williams.
I don't like that. He fucking bukkakied him. Yeah. Or no, I guess it's not a bukkake. It's a reverse bukkake. It's like a lot of faces, only one dick. But fucking,
that would be a better ending.
Yeah,
it would be a way better ending. Yeah.
Cares about standing on your desk. Fuck out of here. Blow me.
I think all girls like going through that time have like the one teacher they're like, oh, I definitely would fuck him and want to.
We did have a teacher that had a relationship with a student.
Oh, cool. We did too. Yeah.
We had 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. We she was a freshman and he was married, had kids, and it all got found out. Of course, he didn't get jail time or anything. And then when that girl turned 18, they got back together.
Nice.
That, to me, going back to like the Mary Kay Letourneau stuff, when they got back together after she got in trouble for getting pregnant and then they had a life and like lived together for a long time. To me, I go, yeah, you remember that? Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I sit there and I hear that and I think maybe it was meant to be. Like,
well, then they got divorced.
Yeah. Oh, did they recently? I think, right?
Mary Kay Letourneau. Yeah, like they got divorced like 3 years ago, I think.
Oh, okay.
Shit.
So yeah, but you know what? You're talking about a guy hooked up with a freshman. That's a little young. Like I could understand seniors.
He was like 48. He was not a good-looking dude either.
And she was what, 14? Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, I think that to me that's a little late to pedo form.
At our school, it was all good. Like the teacher was like 24, the chick was like 17. It was all good.
Chick?
Well, it was another instance where it was a dude student and a chick teacher, but even in that case, it was still like a similar age gap. It wasn't too extreme.
And then there was a chick teacher with a chick?
No, chick teacher with 2 dudes.
That would have been fucking cool, dude. We would have been a legendary high school if that happened. We would have been they would have made an American Pie movie about us if that happened at our high school.
Yes, you would.
So let me ask you, Anastasia, going back to your film work and this and that, it seems like you have very few, if any at all, limitations.
I really don't have many limitations.
We
got into this industry. They asked me what my limitations were, and I said, I don't know. I guess we'll find out as we go along. And I took things like I knew I wouldn't be able to do like right off the bat, like anal, DP, double vag, double anal, stuff like that.
You got to work up to it.
But I mean, there are girls that can just take 2 dicks in the pussy at one time, and you know what? That's awesome. I cannot do that. My vagina is like what my old friend Kendra used to call it, a coin slot.
Oh, those are the best ones.
They are until they want you to stick a dick the size of your forearm up it.
See, I don't understand the appeal of that. Like, I get it for the performer, it's uncomfortable, but I don't understand the appeal of the viewer in those cases. Because like I've seen like things where it's like the entire appeal is like, oh, her fucking pussy's really small. I want to stretch it out till it's the size of my wok. You know, I want to be able to cook rice in it. And it's like, I don't know why that's attractive. That just seems like a chore.
I think porn goes for guys with bigger dicks because it's able to be visually seen better on camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the only reason.
That's a fair point.
Because no guy with a small dick is going to be like, yeah, I love seeing these guys with big, huge cocks.
Well, speak for yourself there, Anastasia. Some of us in this chat room have small dicks and really enjoy that. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
some of us aren't
Am
about our small dicks.
Well, it's true because I know I have a client, one of mine, his favorite things is like Piper Perry getting gangbanged by like 10 black guys.
Sure.
So I know there are people out there like that.
I wonder if there's dudes with huge cocks who like small penis humiliation. So like they're standing there with their fucking 11-inch dick and there's like 10 girls and they're like, your dick's really small. It's only 1 inch. And he's like, I know it's only 1 inch. But it's like, dude, it's fucking touching your knee. Kinks are weird.
I bet you are. Yeah, those kind of things are weird, aren't they? Because like it doesn't make sense. Like most fetishes,
you try and rationalize it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can relate it to like a trauma or childhood, or something else. It's true. It's true. Most of them are.
So, like Matt just said, you seem like you don't have like a lot of limitations, or you're at least you're willing to try a lot. You're ready. So, what, since you've been in the industry, like are some of the extreme, like how extreme have you gone so far? Like what's the thing like that you're like, wow, you know, I can't believe I've done that.
Being fisted in my
Oh God, that hurt me.
But
what's that feel like?
Kind of weird.
Yeah, I would assume. Yeah.
You don't say. So like what is it like?
Because like they make it like so like it goes in like this,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have to like
ball it up.
So like you can feel when it balls up because you feel it. You feel these fingers.
The tips curling in.
Yes.
So let me ask then. Okay, so like you're willing to try stuff. Like how do people broach this stuff? Is there any sugarcoating, or are they just like, hey, you want to get fisted?
Well, that was for like a legal porno scene, so like I did know what I was doing.
Uh-huh.
But I've never been fisted off camera. I don't know if I'd want to be fisted off camera because why
would anyone?
I just don't know if the person would know how to do it correctly. And it is one of those things where like if they go like this, fingernails are going to scrape the inside of your asshole.
Jesus Christ.
Like, yeah.
Audio listeners only, our audio only listeners, be thankful you didn't have to see the visual of her hands scraping the inside of your asshole.
Now wait. Let me ask you a question. Let me pause there. You say it goes in like this, right? And then you have to make the fist. Do you have to make the fist? Technically, you're a sock puppet at that point. Do we have to? I mean, it's not doing anything for the camera.
A good way to train yourself is just to do this to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason you make the sock puppet is so when you pull out, there's a gape.
Gotcha. Oh. Gaping's not my thing at all.
Not my thing at all. Yeah.
Either.
No.
Or rose budding.
No,
Oh
dude, no.
God, Jesus,
That-
we're talking about like emergency room type shit now. Like,
Uh, so we always address this with the performers we talk to. And Shane, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to explain this every time we do it.
it's fine.
It's called SAK, SAK, right? Early on, the performers we would talk to, we would go, "Hey, what's outside of your limitations? What are you not comfortable with?" And all of them would respond with something along the lines of, "Well, I wouldn't fuck any animals." It's like, yeah, we know that. We hopefully are talking to a person who, is not gonna fuck any animals or this and that. So we say SAK, we say shit, animals, and kids. Those three things way out. You're not going to do any of that. Is there anything else on camera that I could set a dollar amount for you and you still would be like, no, not interested? So an example, in the first season of the show, we interviewed Sara Jay. Sara Jay's prolific Hall of Fame performer.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's awesome. She has never done an anal scene. She's never done anal in her personal life. And she has no interest in doing it. And I start setting dollar amounts. I go 20,000, 30,000. Not interested in doing it. She said she's received offers that high before. So is there anything that you are, and again, we'll go even further. Like, I don't want you to go like a snuff film. I'll be like, yeah, I know you don't want to be murdered for money. Yes. But is there any, well, what's it pay, right? Is there anything where you go, this is off the table completely?
Double vag.
Okay. All right. That's any amount of money. It is off the table.
What about double anal?
I've done double anal.
Okay.
Now, why is that? Why is that? How do I even put this? Why is that one work for you, but the other one doesn't?
I know why. Let me take a guess. Let me take a guess at why.
Okay.
It's because the vagina is beautiful and you don't want to ruin it.
Right.
The asshole is where shit comes out.
Okay. That's not what I was going to say.
No, just seriously, my pussy is just so small and so tight that there's one dick can barely fit in it. So
that's lovely. I love that.
Yeah. Lucky guys out there.
I'd show it to you, but I don't know.
We're not paying customers. We can't handle it.
Well, let me take this time to plug real quick. If you do want to see everything on Anastasia, I want to call her Anastasia now. Why do I fuck up every name?
Because that's how it's pronounced.
Because she
pronounced.
It's pronounced Anastasia.
She's
very, very ritzy.
Anastasia here is very regal. You can hear that in the way she said pronounced. But what you want to do is head over to her OnlyFans. Check out Anastasia Rose XXX. So it's ANAST Asia Rose XXX at OnlyFans, and the stuff's going to be in the description, and we'll give all the plugs at the end as well. We're coming up on it here, but there's a couple things I wanted to bring up. Now, I referenced you before in an interview we did probably a year ago. Actually, we were interviewing. Do you know Dan Ferrari and Suzanne Ferrari at all? Okay, yeah, we interviewed them a while ago, and I brought
them really, but I've heard of them.
Sure. We I brought you up. Now, this is. I want to make something totally clear. This is not derogatory towards you at all, but and here's what it is. What we've been talking about.
The hammer.
You seem like, and talking to you, you're an intelligent person. Like, you have a good view of the world and a landscape and this and that. But one thing I find so awesome about your porn scenes is, and I don't know if you do this consciously or unconsciously or subconscious, whatever the term would be. Sometimes you'll just turn your eyes and your face off, almost to the point where you're like total submissive, like I'm just a fuck doll right now. Is that a conscious thing you do? Or and the way I think I said it on the interview was like, I've heard interviews with her and she's intelligent, but then she turns it off and it's almost like she goes brain dead. I don't mean that to be offensive.
You know the word I think of that fits perfectly for what you're describing, that, when we watch the clips so you could explain, is atavistic. It's like
What the fuck does that mean?
It's like not animalistic. It's not like you look like an animal, but you look like some ancient form, like some mythic, like you're in a space that's not entirely a human space. You're like,
Yeah.
you're somewhere between being like in this state of being an animal and being in a meditative state. You know what I'm saying? Like a
Yeah, I
trance
guess
almost.
when it's like really like hardcore scenes and stuff, and especially like submissive scenes, I definitely go to a subspace. But
Mm.
then there's some scenes where it's, you know, especially like if it's like a gangbang or something, where I totally do. I just kind of like,
I feel like it adds to the authenticity, you know?
that's what I've been told too,
Yeah.
because especially like when I roll my eyes and stuff, because
Yeah.
that's like totally subconscious, you know. I really, because like I do enjoy sex like a lot, you know, so like why not
Well,
enjoy it even if it's on film?
you know, it's something funny too, is like, I think a lot of porn has like trained people, but you know, both sexes to think that like if a woman is not like moaning furiously and viciously like thrusting her hips into the cock that's already inside of her, that like she's not enjoying it or something. And it's
Yeah,
like what this, you know, when you get into like that subspace, like you said, or like that zone, like for me, that's when I'm like, oh yeah, I can tell she's like enjoying it, you know, because it's like you're in the zone. Like
exactly.
you've
Yeah.
gotten to that space that
I've forgotten that it's a shoot,
yeah.
essentially,
Hmm.
is what it is. Yeah.
So would you be offended if I played 10 seconds of one of your scenes and asked you about it real quick?
Sure. What scene?
Oh, no. I mean, it's going back to what we just discussed, basically. So in a scene like this was your Texas Bukkake scene, which is honestly one of the better scenes ever played. Like it, I mean, you
I agree
kill it.
with you on that.
Yeah, right. I mean, I want to give Shane an example. Shane, check this out.
Oh, yeah, go lower, baby.
So Anastasia's like,
I'm waiting for more cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's the type of thing I'm talking about, where it's like,
Love it.
it's like I'm not I'm not like necessarily a dom or a sub guy. I don't necessarily need to see it, but if you're in the mood for something like kind of submissive, there's something that's really interesting about your acting in these scenes, where again it's like I'm turning this off and we are just in the moment right now.
Yeah.
And so is that, I mean, is that a conscious thing you're doing, or I hope,
No,
let me tell you,
no,
I
it's
hope
totally
it doesn't fuck you up
totally
going forward.
subconscious.
Okay, it's
It's totally
subconscious.
subconscious, especially, and it has to be certain scenes like gangbangs or stuff where there's enough around going on where I can lose myself in it.
Okay. All right. Like I said, we're coming up on an end here, but let me ask you, going forward, what's the plan? What are we doing going forward? You're clean now, you're feeling better, you're concentrating on your own shit. You're working your OnlyFans, which is awesome. Is there
I also webcam.
webcam? Wonderful. What's your name on that? You mind plugging that, and I'll put that in the
It's
description.
Chatterbait / Anastasia Rose.
Okay.
But it's official, but it's official is spelled wrong.
Oh,
I
okay.
spelled, let's see.
Just spell it wrong any old way and it should work.
Right.
I'm gonna guess.
ICAL. I forgot the extra I.
Okay, all right. So go on Chatterbait and find Anastasia Rose. Is there anything in you that makes you want to get back into mainstream stuff, like the big sites?
So actually, and I totally forgot to mention this at like the beginning of the show, I am moving out to LA on May 4th. So I do plan on hopefully shooting more mainstream again.
Hopefully too. I agree with you. Are you worried? When you stepped away from mainstream, did you burn any bridges at all that you were?
I didn't burn any bridges, but I did gain, like after, I got clean and stuff, I have gained weight. It's all gone to my tits and my ass.
Oh, God forbid. terrible.
I know that's what everybody says, but like I have a little bit of like a teeny.
Cut them off.
I could probably sell them.
You could. There's a market.
But yeah, I want to lose maybe like 10 or 15 pounds and then go to an agency and get agency pictures. Because if I go now, they're going to be like, you're fat, you need to lose weight. And I don't want to hear that.
Which is crazy, though, because you
When I
were
first
not.
started, they said I needed a tit job.
How often does that happen? Let me ask you. I mean, obviously once
Probably
in
all
your
the
experience. Yeah, you think so?
Probably all the time, yeah.
I don't know. I think, not to sound like a creep, I think you have like a perfect natural body. And I've seen you with a little bit of weight in some of your pictures. Not a problem at all. You're not like, fucking shooting plumper porn or whatever that stuff is. So
I
you're.
said that to my friend the other day, the older guy, we're like best friends now. I was like, he was like, no, tons of people are going to shoot you and you know it. And I was like, yeah, maybe BBW sites. And he's like, shut up.
Look,
Shut up.
I've been a fan of performers that have gone on to gain a bunch of weight and they're totally fine still.
Mika Tan still.
Mika Tan, yeah. Mika Tan looks like she ate somebody else, and she is still up there in my top 10, like solid. Anastasia, anything you want to say to the audience or fans? I'm putting you on the spot, but you don't have to. There's nothing you have to say.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening in. You guys are awesome. If you weren't a fan before, I hope you're a fan now of me, Anastasia Rose. And I really thank you guys for coming out and supporting and listening. Or if you guys watch it later, that'd be super cool. So come find me on Twitter. And if you can't find me on Twitter, then just go Google Anastasia Rose.
Well, Google it, but maybe put porn after it, because when I told Shane we were going to interview you, he looked up a German DJ named Anastasia Rose as well. And he was like, I don't know what we're going to talk about, like German DJing stuff. I was like, no, this chick takes dicks. Don't worry about it. It'll be entertaining. Shane, any other questions before I do the plugs here?
That German DJ, shout out, your music sucks.
All right, that is Anastasia Rose. You can find her on Twitter, Anastasia Rose XX. That's ANASTASIA Rose XX. You can go to her OnlyFans, please. Anastasia Rose XXX. There's one more X because it's more graphic on the OnlyFans than it is on Twitter.
Well, actually, what it was is Twitter, Anastasia Rose XXX would have been too many characters.
You know what? Fair enough.
I was very upset that I couldn't get my extra X.
Yeah, that's terrible. That is annoying. You can send her an email, anastasiarose18@yahoo.com. Ask questions about custom clips, her premium Snapchat, which is Anna, A-N-A, Rose, Premium. That's her premium Snapchat. And just reach out to her. Let her know you enjoyed her on the show. And if, you didn't, that's your fucking problem, because she's one of my favorite performers out there and of all time. And I have a wife and I get laid, but I still enjoy pornography. And she is one of the best at it. So thank you very much.
You should.
Yeah, totally. I agree. I mean, it's a little debilitating when I spend like 6 hours perusing and like Jen's in the other room like, we're supposed to hang out. I'm like, I'm looking at pornography.
I understand what you mean.
Research.
All right. That was Anastasia Rose. I hope to see you in Edison in October. And man, that was such a creepy line of me, wasn't it? I was like,
Yeah, I'm
hope
pretty
we
sure.
can see. I will be there with my wife, so
Oh, cool. I can meet her too.
Yeah, it'd be great. She's in the chicks. Anyway, so yeah, that was Anastasia Rose. Thank you very much for coming on with us today.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Thanks for listening to Your Worst Friend. Going deeper.